Hey guys, Michael here, and I have this week's motivational moment for you. And today I want to talk about fear. Fear is a very common human emotion that we all get to experience many, many times in our lives. What we tend to want to do with fear, though, is want to avoid it. It's uncomfortable, we don't like the feeling of it, so it's very natural that we want to avoid. Unfortunately, this doesn't mean the fear goes away. In fact, it can just get stronger and actually work its way into our psyche in other ways. So for today, I want to share with you a very simple four-step strategy for managing your fears. And because I love alliteration, this is a very easy to remember 4C step process. So the first thing you want to do when you're feeling afraid is to treat yourself with compassion. We are all designed to feel the fear. We are all designed to, our brains are wired to actually seek out threats in our environment and alert us to those threats. So when you're feeling fear, nothing has gone wrong. You're working as designed. So remind yourself, treat yourself with compassion that, oh, this is me just being afraid and perceiving a threat in my environment. Do not beat yourself up for feeling fear. It does not serve you to beat yourself up for any kind of emotion for that matter. Remember that when you're willing to feel the fear, that in and of itself is a positive experience. So even if feeling fear doesn't seem like a positive experience, being willing to feel it, having the compassion for yourself to allow yourself the feeling of that emotion is in and of itself a positive experience that will give you a little bit of relief right there. You got to feel it to heal it. Okay. And so now that you're a little bit calmer, so now you've noticed the fear, you're treating yourself with compassion, now is a great time to approach your fear with curiosity. Second C, curiosity. I like to ask myself, okay, Michael, what are you really afraid of right now? What's the fear? What is this perceived threat in my environment that I'm picking up on? And is there any real danger? Is this real fear, or is this false evidence appearing real? FEAR, false evidence appearing real. And what I also like to do is ask myself, if I didn't have this fear, what would I be doing? And based on that action, what result would be on the other side of feeling the fear? So what would I be creating if I wasn't afraid? What would I be doing if I wasn't afraid? Or whatever the fear is that you've identified for yourself. And that's an important step as well. Make sure you're identifying exactly what you're afraid of, and don't lie to yourself. If you really want, you can even put this stuff in a journal. I think that helps me a lot as well. Once you understand what the fear is about, where it's coming from, that gives you knowledge. And once you have understanding and knowledge, it tends to reduce our fears because we can make sense of them. So now that you have a good idea for what your fear is coming from and what it's telling you, now is the ultimate time to be able to practice the third C, courage. Courage is allowing fear to be there and then taking action anyway. Courage is all about taking action in spite of the discomfort of the fear or whatever negative emotion there is. We could talk about fear in many ways, and we do in our podcast episode coming up, so make sure you check that out. But we talk about it as it means that you're stepping out of your comfort zone in one way or another. And that when you have the courage to take action despite feeling fear, you're actually demonstrating that you can take a step out of your comfort zone and you will survive to tell the tale. So the third C is all about taking courage, feeling the fear and doing it anyway. And here's the other thing, have your own back no matter what. Courage is all about taking action in spite of the fear being there, rather than wanting to wait for the fear to go away before we take action. Courage has you jumping before you're fully ready, even with a little bit of fear in you still. And sometimes a lot of fear. I want you guys to remember, you are capable of doing scary things, and that's what courage is all about. Courage reminds us that we are capable of doing these things, even if there's fear there. Okay, and finally, this is a bonus fourth C. If you can swing it, I want you to communicate. The fourth C is to communicate. Find somebody to talk to. Reach out to your friend or loved one or someone that you trust and explain to them everything that you just did. Explain to them that you're feeling fear. Explain to them what it's about. Talk it out with someone. We have the benefit of being in this world with other people so they can support us through these things. What you'll notice is that other people also have very, very similar fears, and they can help you through it, because when you're not in it, you're in a far better place to be able to support somebody who is also going through it. There is strength in community, so make sure you're using that, whether it's online or in person. Okay, guys, so those are the 4 C's in dealing with fear. Have compassion for yourself. Approach it with curiosity. Have courage. And then rely on your community in order to communicate. Okay, that is what I've got for you guys today. Have a beautiful week full of fear and courage and all the beautiful things. Make sure you check out our next couple podcasts where we're going to dive into this topic a lot deeper with Matt and Callan. Okay, guys, have a great rest of the week. Be well.